guess what I've got? I've got another bike. This is the Bodywell T16 Pro Outdoor Mini. And it is a mini bike. It's only about 20 kilos, 45 pounds. So I'm going to get it unboxed. I'm going to take it for a bit of a ride around our town. I'm going to take the infrared camera out with me, I think, and see if I can get some infrared photographs in this really, really sunny blue sky day. But I need to give it a ride, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Take it for a little ride around the town. Maybe go and get a coffee, go and visit the lake, see what it's like off-road. But this is just a little mini bike. This is nothing fancy. It's no big mountain bike or anything like that. So let's get the unboxing done, and let's see how long it takes to put together, and see what's involved, and see what it actually looks like. I'm hoping they've sent me a white one. Quite fancied a white one. So first of all, inside the box, you can see it is full of padding. It's got loads of white foam in there, so it's well protected for transportation. I'm now going to have to find somewhere to put all this foam, so let's dig it out and have a look and see what this looks like. Here it is. Here's the bike, and unfortunately it looks like they've sent me a black one, which is a shame because I did ask if they'd send me a white one. Right, I'm going to get my knife. I'm going to cut off all of these cable ties, and if you're very clever the way you cut them, you can actually use them again. First of all, we're just going to literally unpack everything, get rid of all the bits, and then we'll see what it looks like underneath this foam padding. It's got 14-inch wheels, so it's a little tiny bike with little mini wheels. This I was thinking would be absolutely fantastic thrown in the boot of the car and taken out with me, or thrown in the back of the van when I'm off out in the van, and gives me that little bit of a scope to be able to go a bit further than what I would normally if I'm parked up. If you want to nip to the shop or the pub or the cafe, you can actually quite easily just do that. Just whip this out the boot. You don't have to repark the van, you don't have to repark the car. You can just literally nip off, or from home, leave it in the shed, nip down to the shop, go and get your lunch, keeping it all very compact and tidy. It's not going to be a fully fledged mountain bike where you're going to be able to go off-road in it, but I do think it's going to be fun to ride. Lots of bits of foam, well padded. Ideally, probably not best to use a knife around the tyres, but on the other hand, then I would probably be inclined to get yourself a pair of pliers or snips to nip them off. As you can see, look, foam everywhere, foam protecting the discs, 160 discs on it. Looks like mechanical brakes, handlebars. Could do is finding something to put it on top, but it's going to get scratched anyway when I use it. So I'm not too worried about it getting some marks on it. What else have we got here? Little seat pad, or looks like a little Bodywell box, gadget box, and it's got some weight to it, so there must be something in there. Again, I've got another cable tie around this side. Pop it off, get rid of the foam. Oh, looks like a seat. And there we go, she's pretty much out of her casing. What else have we got? Let's take this one off. There we go, and it is a black one. Let's just pull the seat out of its padding and have a little nose at that. Nice little padded seat there, very well padded seat there. It looks like we've just got one more bit down this side to get rid of. So that's us, she's out. So we've got a mudguard for the front wheel. We've got the front wheel with a disc on it. Back wheel's already fitted. There's a little stand on this side. Chain. We've got to fit the pedals, fit the seat. Looks like the handlebar's just got to be sorted out. It's a foldable handlebar. Got a little suspension on the front forks, which is cool. There's a light here as well. That's actually cable tied on. So I'm going to open the box because I think the tools are in the box. So yeah, we'll have a little look in there and see what we've got in this little box. So inside this, and from what I know from the photographs, this goes on the front of the handlebars, which is great for storing your camera in, really. I won't be able to take a backpack or anything. So we've got a set of pedals there inside. I think these are foldable pedals, which makes it even better for packing away in the car. We've got a rear light, nice little rear light. It's a battery operated rear light. We've got our bindle, pokey thing that goes through to attach the front wheel. We've got a box, and we've got some instructions and spanners, Allen keys, and some screws all in the box, and instructions. So we'll have a quick nose at them, and I'm guessing this might be a charger. Yeah, and inside there we've got our charger, for our battery. I think our battery is built inside this frame. There is a way, I think, of removing it from the bottom, but I'll probably find it's one of these ones that likes to live inside. So that's your charger. We'll see if we've got charge on it in a moment. Hopefully we will. I'll give it a bit of a run. So let's just see if we can just nip this together. I'm going to quickly peruse over these instructions just to make sure I don't miss anything and put the wrong thing on first. I don't do instructions because I don't read well, so it says you need a small adjustable, but it gives you a pair of pliers, so I might have to go and find an adjustable spanner. We've got an app control, so that's something interesting. We need to download the app for that. 3 to 4 hours charging time, 1 to 3 levels of power assist, 20 kilograms net weight, 25 kph by default speed. The frame is aluminium. The controller is a 36 volt 13 amp, range between 25 and 50 kilometers, and it's a 36 volt 7.8 amp hour lithium battery. Recommended rider height between 5 foot and 6 foot. That's 152 centimeters to 183 centimeters. Very interesting. There's stuff to show you how to control it, the power levels, what the buttons do. Let's see if we can decipher how to put this together. I've got some instructions there. I'll keep them beside me just in case I need them. Hopefully they won't blow away. Right, so first of all, I'm just going to flip this handlebar up, I think, because I need to get it up so I can see what I'm doing. So handlebar flips up and locks into place. Very, very simple. And we'll get the handlebars ready to go on the top. The screws come out. This is where you need your Allen key. Once we've got that out of the way, we can drop the handlebars on the top, making sure the brakes are the correct way round, which is going to be this way round with a Bodywell programmer facing the right direction. Put your screws in, and then you will need an Allen key to tighten that up. Allen key's actually in the packet, so you don't have to go looking for one. Handlebars, I'm just going to line them up roughly to where I think they need to be, and then I can do any final adjustments once it's all been built and I've got it together and I'm sitting on it, so I know exactly what it is. So the controller then slides forwards and backwards, so you haven't got to worry about it being in the way. Very simple to put together. This is very, very simple. Look at it, it's just a couple of components. So we'll do that up. Always do it up tight, even if you're going to adjust it, because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. The controller's just loose at the moment, so until I know where I want that, and there's a couple of little screws on the back just to nip that up, tighten it. Right, that's that bit, and the seat can go in, saves that getting damaged down there on the floor. So we'll drop the seat in. This has got some heights on it, lots of numbers on there for readjusting. So if Miamata rides the bike, if you've got a tall person or a short person, you can adjust it and know from 1 to 20. You've got a minimum line on the bottom and a maximum line. This is quick release, quite nice. Slider in. So I'm going to put it somewhere around there because I've got no idea how high this is compared to sitting on it at the moment. So I'm going to put it in there, which is about a 14, and then we're just going to clip that shut. That's nice and easy. Is it straight? No, it's not at all, is it? It's a very, very padded seat with a hole in the middle to let some air through, but it's a really big, squidgy padded seat that looks really comfortable. Right, hardest bit now is going to be putting the wheel on. Let's have a look and see how we do this. So in the bottom, you've got a threaded bar, which is there to protect the actual workings. And as you notice, I've not actually looked at the instructions yet. I'm not doing well. And then we take our quick release thingamadoofer. I'm going to put it on the opposite side to the brake, because then it's easier to get hold of. So with this, you take the screw off. There's two little springs. Make sure you keep one spring on one side and the other spring goes on the other side. It just literally slides through the middle of the wheel. Put your little locking washers on and then put your screw on. Just a couple of turns with the fingers, and then hopefully we're going to slide this underneath the front here and we're going to slide it in place. Make sure the disc goes between the pads. A really good idea to remove, there's a plastic cap inside the brake discs, which you don't normally get, so that's good to notice that's in there. So this should just slide between the discs. That's it, it's in. And then all you've got to do then is put your little washer things into the holes to make sure those washers do not slide out, and then spin it up. Spin it up until it goes tight-ish with it locked like it is, and then unlock it, give it a turn, make sure it feels like it's and holding tight like that. There we go, in place. That is now in. The tyres feel like they need a little bit of air in them. We've got a stand on the back so it stands up. That's a lovely little thing. Look at that, it's looking a right treat, isn't it? A little light in this bag, so we'll fit the light and then we're pretty much good to go. I'll have to put some air in it, check there's power in the battery, we will take it out for a bit of a ride, but the build is virtually done. LED light for the front. This is connected to the actual bike, so that means it would actually work with the power. Oh, and I've got to fit the front mudguard as well, haven't I? So let's have a little look at that, because that'll go through the same hole through the back, like so, and then that would need to go on the front of there. So it's going to have to go without the wheel. So I'm going to have to lift the wheel out to slide the mudguard in, which is easy enough. We just undo the clip, a few turns loose, take our locking pins out and just slide the wheel out. So we're just going to slide the mudguard. So the mudguard's attached with a Allen key, and it's like a little screw Allen key here. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to attach this mudguard first, and hopefully the wheel should slide in a bit easier. I've done this many times where I put the wheel in and had to take it out again just to put the mudguard in, because I've got mountain bikes that don't have mudguards, so I'm used to just putting them together. If I put that in there and hold it in place, it should then be easy enough to get the wheel back in. So we need two little screws, do we, for this? They're underneath, so let's do it that way. Now we'll slide the wheel in with everything in the way, like that. Put our locking pins in and do it back up again. This is real time, this is no messing around. I don't like to do things that aren't true to life, so this is definitely a learning curve when you're doing these things. So now the mudguard's in, then we can see what we're going to do with it. Two little screws on the bottom, and get that in place, and then we can carry on with the rest. So the mudguard is probably the fiddliest bit to actually do, because you have to take the wheel, twizzle it around, and you've got to be lots of fingers and thumbs everywhere. But once it's in, you don't have to remove it. So the tyres are 14 by 2.5. I'm not sure what air goes in them, but I'm going to have a look. It says between 35 and 40 psi. And we've also got a directional arrow on the tyres, and that's for dispersing water. Right, one screw done up this side, one screw done up the other side. Now we can fit our light, can't we? So screw comes back out that holds the mudguard. Slide the lamp on the front, don't lose your washer, through the mudguard, through the lamp, and put your screw back in the hole. How are you enjoying this? Have we got about 10 minutes yet? So that goes in there, and then we just got to nip it up tight. So the Allen key's got a screw on one end, which doesn't make it easy to use, I must admit, because it needs to be longer. So if you've got a set of Allen keys with the knobbly bits on, it would work a lot easier. Pressure on it, and we can start to align the mudguard, because the mudguard at the moment is very out of line. Mudguard's in line, headlight looks straight. Nip that up so it doesn't come loose. There we go, one more turn, like so. Headlight is now on, there's a little reflector on the front. Good to go. Let's put our backlight on while we think about it. And this is probably what the screwdriver part's for. Look at that, we've now got a little backlight. It would be nice if the backlights were electrically operated with a battery, because then you wouldn't have to worry about putting the batteries in and out. So there we go, nice and straight. Nip that up with a screwdriver. There we go, one battery backlight, and it comes with battery in it. Right, what else have we got? So while we are here, let's put the pedals on. So the pedals, this is where it can get a bit more interesting. So you do have to put the right one on the right side. Two pedals, left and a right, right, left, green and red. So right goes on the right side, obviously, and left goes on the left side. So you have opposite threads on pedals, so one of them will go one direction. There's a tune there somewhere, isn't there? One of them will go one direction, like that, and the other one will go the other direction. So it's opposite threads, so that when you're cycling, they don't actually come off. So we've got a left-handed thread on that one. This is where you'll need your spanner that comes with it. I would have thought probably 15 mil, a regular size. Now these pedals are plastic, that will keep the weight down a little bit, I suppose. Because it's not a mountain bike, it doesn't need to be bashed on the floor. But bearing in mind these are plastic pedals, try not to bash them on the floor. I'm going to give these a good push to make sure they don't come undone. Pedals are now on, and these are, if I understand correctly, these are foldable pedals. Now I've never used foldable pedals, look at that. So they fold up, so when you're laying the bike down in the back of the car, the pedals don't dig in. That's pretty cool. So you push the pedal in, flip it round. So that's quite a cool idea, that is. I like that. Push it in, flip it round. Yeah, I like that for when it goes in the car. Download the app, there's a little ticket on there. That pretty much is build done. Apart from my little Bodywell box that needs to go on the handlebars, we can say this is complete. Let's have a look, how does this work? We've got two straps that go probably over the handlebars. And we've got one on the other side as well. Does it go under the brakes or over the brakes? I'm going to see if I can fit it and then I'll tell you whether it's right or wrong. Under the brakes or over the brakes? This is what the question we're asking ourselves. Better off it goes over the brakes, okay? There we go, so let's take it off and we're going to put it over the brakes. That way we have more control over how it sits on the bike. One like that, so it sits over the brakes, which is better. We've got another one that comes around the back here, because it means I can put my little camera in the bag and not have to carry it on my back, which is quite nice. Or somewhere to put my biscuits. So it's on quite secure with 4 straps. There's also a plug on the bottom here. I'll just show you that. There's a plug on the bottom there. That is for attaching a throttle. So you can actually get a throttle for it. So there you go. That's nicely attached. It's not going to go anywhere. It sits on there quite nicely. I'll see you can unzip that, put some little bits in there and zip it back up. It's quite a nice little touch, that. And it didn't take long at all, did it? The only thing I would suggest is go around and check all the nuts and bolts and the screws to make sure everything is in the right place. So for height, that wasn't a bad guess, was it? She's a dinky little bike. She's cool. Front suspension, that little rear stand, quite nice. Little step through. Right, the build is done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.